Hi everyone, I'm Shelja from Simply Wow Services. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Can you tell something about the genetical causes for acne?
Yes, like unlike all the medical disorders, acne is also one of the conditions that can have a genetic implication on that one. Like there are so many studies, and over hundreds of years, it's been established that there is a genetic susceptibility for acne. And especially, like, if you see this diagram, like, when a mother or like one of the parent has acne, and the child who resembles around 80% to that parent have the chances of acne more tendency will be there. And how does this help us, like, if it is genetic or not genetic, how does this help us? First thing is their skin is more prone for acne, so once they take care in their early teenage group, they can prevent severe complications of acne. Second thing is once they have already got their acne, the treatment might be little slow. So for us to tell them, like, this could be one of the reasons, and then it might take a little time compared to the people who don't have genetic issues. So this will help us. The third thing is, like, they become resistant. Like, the regular treatment what we give might not be work for these patients who have genetic implications. So we might, for our sake, we have to increase the dosage, or we have to use different regimens to control them. The third thing is like the relapse rate in patients who have genetic like background. The relapse rate of acne is much higher. So all these things we can explain to the patient when they come for consultation, so that, like, they are also aware that, like, this can take time compared to their friends who doesn't have any genetic background. And also, like, the twins, the monozygotic twins have more, like, sebum or secretions more compared to the dizygotic. That is, the monozygotic means, like, if both twins look alike, the tendency for getting acne is more. Or like they have acne prone skin if one of the twin gets it. So this is also helps us in, like, counseling the patient or planning their treatment modalities.
So, Dr. Harish, what could be the age factor? Like, from what age normally the teenagers would get acne, and till what age it might continue, or will it be there even when they are, growing up?
See, like, as the teenage indicates, like, it can start from 13 years or 14 years. And then, like, this teenage acne or the adolescent acne can continue, or like sometimes like subsides when the hormone fluctuations are not too much. But like once it passes beyond like 20, 25 plus, we call it as an adult acne. What happens in adult acne? First thing, what we have to see about adult acne is, as you can see in this diagram, like, the acne will tend to appear more on the jawline. The jawline acne, or the submandibular, the submental area, the acne can pop up, and these acne are very stubborn for treatment. They have more of papules and pustules, we call it as. And along with this acne, most of the patients will have hirsutism, or the growth of unwanted hair will also be visible in these patients. And these patients we evaluate for like common thing called as PCOD, or the polycystic ovarian disease, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. And we tend to also ask for any other features if they have about PCOD, like hair loss, or like pelvic pain, or if they are married, about the infertility, weight gain, fatigue, and then they tend to have irregular cycles. All these correlates, and then these signs help us to evaluate for further hormonal profiles, and also help us in, like, treating acne. These patients require hormone medications, like hormone receptor blockers or hormone blockers. More than the medication, a patient gets a hormonal acne, they have to do regular exercise, and their diet should be very good. Like, they should have very low glycemic diet, especially at night, so that, like, their hormonal acne will not get flared up. Also, coming to treatment of hormonal acne, it takes time for them to respond. Many patients at this age group, because of, like, the hormone fluctuation, they always will be in irritated mood. So they want like everything faster because they feel like, this is the age group, like 25, 26 age group, the hormone fluctuations is more, and then they have this attention seeking, characters. And so, they feel like everybody are watching their acne, so they want it faster results. But like medically, these acne are very stubborn and then very resistant for regular treatments. We have to go for higher medications for them. So they require little lab investigations to evaluate whether they have hormonal problem or just like fluctuations, which can be managed by lifestyle management.
So the lifestyle these days are more prone to the junks and other kind of foods. So how is it affecting the lifestyle and also the health conditions and also the acne?
See, like, when we talk about high calorie food, like, because of the fast food, everybody, feels like they are more delicious, or like, they don't have time. So these things are very faster to eat. And then nowadays it's like become like a status kind of thing. So you eat junk food, so you are considered like as a high status person. So all this can have an impact on the skin. Like what happens with high calorie food is like, they release something called as insulin like growth factors. So these tend to go and block the oil glands, which can trigger the acne. So it is always advisable not to have high calorie food, or if you are not able to avoid that in the working hours, at least at night, don't use high calorie food. I always tell my patients, avoid milk, rice, non-veg, sugar at nights. So that will help you, because everybody will be busy in the morning hours, so they have very slight food, and afternoons they have at their workplace, and the nights when they are free, they tend to go out and have like heavy meal or heavy high calorie foods, which can cause acne. Next day of your food, you might not see anything, but like that would have been a trigger which can cause acne after a week or 10 days. Then if we ask, like, if you had a food, like outside food, there's a response that like, it's been like 10 days or 15 days I've not eaten outside, but that could have been a trigger. So if you have an acne prone skin, definitely a no for high calorie food or the junk food.
Dr. Harish, as it's a corporate culture, and if you see the kind of advancements and the kind of stress level that children or even it may be elders are into, so there's a lot of stress that everybody are going through. So how can this cause acne?
See, like, when somebody is on stress, so to handle stress, our body releases hormones. So if these hormones are not handled, like what to do when you have stress, you have to do regular exercise, and you have to make sure you do some meditation, yoga, and all. So that will help you in reducing your stress levels. More stress, there is more hormone secretion. More hormones, they can cause acne, hair fall. Most of the things happens in damages to your skin. So it's always advisable to take care of stress. Everybody have stress, but like you should know how to handle them so that your skin looks better. You should drink plenty of water, your food habits should be proper, regular exercise. All this can help you in regulating your stress and also make your skin healthy and beautiful.
Dr. Harish, can any medications cause acne?
See, as I told earlier, like the medications such as steroids can cause acne. And not only steroids, there are so many other medications which are used for other conditions, like how you can see here, isoniazid. This is one of the medications which are used for tuberculosis. This can also trigger acne. You can see the photo of one of our patients who had tuberculosis and was on treatment, and she started getting acne form eruptions. So a few of the medications can trigger. If the patient doesn't have like any history of these medications, it will be very difficult to treat. And nowadays many people will have this vitamin B12 deficiency, and so many people take injections of vitamin B12, so that also can trigger acne. Now how we differentiate this acne which is caused by the medications or acne which is like normally caused is, you can see in this picture where you can see all these lesions, like all these blocked glands looks similar. That is, there is no various stages. Like usually the acne have the comedones, papules, pustules, and cysts. We call the grades of acne. But like here you can see the single grade. That means one trigger has caused this, so all the acne is at the same stage. So this is how we evaluate the patient and then treat them accordingly. Once the triggering medication stopped, this acne tend to gradually reduce. For them, we just give topical medications and few chemical peels to reduce the blockage of glands, so they beautifully respond. So one should be careful. They should not use any steroids for acne. That is very important.
As we all know, everybody is fitness freak these days, and they go to gym for their fitness, and also they consume a lot of proteins and the other kind of medicines to keep themselves fit. How can this be a cause for acne?
Correct. See, like this is one of the very commonly asked questions. Like this protein powders is basically they contains the whey protein or the casein. So these are nothing but the branched chain amino acids. Like these amino acids are tend to stimulate the protein synthesis. So they, like people put on their muscle becomes more healthier and bulkier. But same way, these can cause stimulation of insulin-like growth factors from pancreas and insulin-like growth factors from the liver. So these insulin-like growth factors can stimulate the oil glands. So these patients usually have very oily skin. Even if they didn't have oily skin before, once they start taking this, they tend to become more oily, and then it can trigger acne formation. There is something called as interleukin 17, like one of the pro-inflammatory cytokine, we call it as, means like this cytokine is released into the blood. So what happens, this triggers the acne formation. Most of the patients come back after taking protein powder, they tend to get more acne. And like routinely these patients get like very bigger form of acne, like we call it as cystic acne, and they get on the chest also, on the trunk also. So it's usually not advisable to take too much of this if they are not planning to become a professional bodybuilders. If they want to just maintain their physique, it's better to avoid these things, so that they will not be prone for acne.
As everybody wants to look beautiful, so especially the ladies, they prefer to go to the parlor to get a facial or a bleach or any kind of procedures to be done. So how these procedures would cause acne?
See, like many of the ladies tend to go to parlors very frequently. Like what happens there, like the person who is doing this massages and all, they'll not be aware of like what they're using. They should be aware that what it contains, whether that is suitable for the patient's skin, or whether they are comedogenic, non-comedogenic, acne prone. There are different things. It will be just written, but like once they see the skin, then only they can advise you which procedure to undergo. There are so many instances that patients go to the same parlor, but like once they have gone for like 4 or 5 times, sixth time they went, they come out with too much of acne breakouts. If it is so simple, it should have not happened. So this is not so simple. They should know their skin type, what they're using, and their lifestyle changes. All these are important. And the other thing, what in parlors they do is the massage. When they start doing the massage, they're massaging the oil glands. Once they're stimulated with their hands, on that day and next day, definitely the skin will look much better, much healthier because of the increased blood circulation. But they get acne, especially girls who are getting married. They get like the facials done just before their wedding, on the wedding, and then a week maximum they'll be very good. After that they start getting acne. That is the very saddened part, because immediately after getting married you go to your in-laws place and then you tend to get acne. So then you'll also get panicked, like all these days I didn't have acne, but like once I got married I got acne. The result, I mean, the reason behind that could be the parlor procedures. So definitely I'm not telling avoid them, but like be careful, or tell them like about what you're using, or if you're using any acne products, tell them, inform them, like know about what they're using, and then only you can like you should undergo. Or you can get like chemical peels done when you meet a qualified dermatologist. Chemical peels are much better, much safe procedures than these massaging in the parlors.
There are a lot of cosmetic products that are available readily in the market, which claims that they can cure acne and other skin problems. How can we justify that?
Yes, see, like definitely many people tend to use cosmetic products, maybe because they want to look good, or their work where they do their work demands that they use few of the concealers or the enhancers for their professional aspect as well. So I'm not telling don't use them. When you use them, please read about this word, the non-comedogenic, when you're buying any product, if your skin is acne prone. And you should stop hiding the acne or acne pigmentation. Instead of that, you have to start taking treatment. If you start hiding them, or like putting thick layer of makeup, you're actually making them more aggravate. So it's better to treat first and then use a product which is non-comedogenic, so that like long-term benefits you can achieve.
So, what are the treatment options for acne, Dr. Harish?
See, in Vitals, like we have varied options. We have the topical medications too. We have different varieties of laser. We have different chemical peels with us. And I, being a dermatosurgeon, like I do surgeries for acne scars as well. Like we can do a lot of treatment options in Vitals. As I shared before, like see this patient, we have done just like oral medications and simple comedone extraction. Right. See, like this is what is the comedone. So you can see like I'm opening the comedones, and then I'm started doing extraction of it, so that like the comedones are expressed. So this is very important. The direction of extraction is very important, so that you don't get a scar. So this we can do to vitals. We can do this one under
How
spine.
painful is it? It looks very
It's not,
uh,
it's not painful. It's not at all painful. In fact, like, this gives immediate results. So patients will be very happy seeing this without any comedones, it is not painful at all to look. Yeah, it does looks a little scary. But like you can see here, the big comedone which is there, we tend to like use the small 24 gauge needle, we call it as. So with that, we can, uh, open small nick we give, and then we use a extractor which is done with the direction of the oil gland. So it looks simple when we are doing, but it has to be with the direction. If it is not in the direction, there is chance that it can block and can cause acne.
so. What are the surgical treatments for the acne?
So this is the punch flotation. What we do, that means like we use the punch and we elevate the depressed scars which are present. You can see like we are using the needle to elevate the small scars. We can elevate like this, so that they don't go deeper. See, this is the punch which we are using, and all this we can do when the patient doesn't respond to the laser. We can do it. You can see like we are removing the scars from the skin, which is like which is very stubborn for even the laser treatments. Once these are removed, we put a graft. That is, we take the skin from the retroauricular area. See, like behind the ear, we again take small grafts like this, and then we can put it on the scars. See, like we're placing the scar, like these grafts again back on the place where we have removed it. So you can see how beautifully it matches the color of the skin as well. Okay, once this is done, again we subject to laser treatments, so that like it gives a cosmetically appealing scars.
So, how long does it take to get treated on this?
So this is like if within a weeks to 10 days time, the scars will be much elevated. So definitely patient can see visible difference, and then post that we have to do laser for resurfacing again. So you can see like very depressed scar, like we can remove it, and then we can graft it. Means like, see now, we can, if it is very big, we tend to remove that scar, and then we can suture it as well, so that the cosmetic appearance of the scar will be much better than it is like a big round scar.
Mhm.
It's a simple procedure, simple surgical aspect. And now you can see here, like, this is called a subcision, where we can cut the fibers which are there just below the acne. You can see, like, we are cutting the fibers just below the acne scar so that it gets elevated. And once that is done, we can do something called as dermal grafting. See, that is the subcision wherein we rotate the needle just below the skin, so that, like, the fibers which is like holding the acne scars to the like below, that can be cut, so that, like, the scars will get lifted up. And this is another technique wherein we take again grafts from the retroauricular area, and then we insert the dermal grafts. You can see the grafts are being put below the scars. So there will be an instant elevation of the scars. You can see the graft which is being pushed inside the scar, so that there will be elevation. The scar, whichever is like depressed, it can be elevated once we do this technique. These are the things which we have done, like a combination treatments. You can see, especially this patient, you can see here how beautifully he's responded. Like, we have done like both surgical and topical management. You can see the color difference. You can see the scars which have been elevated. These can be done, like, which gives very good results. You can see the scars here. See the changes, which the patient will be very happy with this kind of results.
Yes, in fact, it is much better than how he was earlier.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
fact, this was a very nice, valuable insights that you have shared to us today, Dr. Harish. So, just one question I had, like, what would you recommend as a dermatologist for the skincare treatments for acne?
See, for acne, it depends on the acne grades. Like, if it is grade one, we tend to give just like medications which contains retinoids, salicylic acids, azelaic acid, benzyl peroxide, clindamycin, these things. When it is grade two, grade three, we tend to do chemical peel treatments like salicylic acid, mandelic acid, black peels, the retinol peels. This can be done. Once it is a very severe form of it, we have to go with higher oral medications like retinoids. If it is a female, we do contraceptive pills, or like we give hormone receptor blockers. Once they have scars, then we go with lasers, or like, acne scar surgeries. So this, it's like, single case of acne, we have to give like, there will be mix and match of medications, combinations, because one patient with acne will not respond to the same medication which the previous patient we have given to. So each patient is challenging, each patient lifestyle is different, each patient responding to the treatment is different, because we have seen, like, when I give my prescription, the same will be used by their friends or their family members, which might not respond. So that also is the scenario. So they have to come for examination, then only it can be treated better.
Thank you, Dr. Harish, for sharing your valuable insights about acne and how to treat them. Dear audience, if you are seeking for a skincare, Vitals completely understand that you like the best in class treatment. Vitals Clinic ensures to provide you with a world class treatment for all the skin problems, and they are also the one stop shop for enhanced skin treatment and providing you the complete assurance of the medical care.
So we also have online consultations for patients who are like far away from Bangalore. So they can call us on the WhatsApp number, which will be displayed in the below section. So we can help you out with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.